Do we know?
Does bingo, is there money?
It's just the white one, no.
I don't get any,
Legally,
they're not supposed to.
Well, that, so we ought to,
they just do. Unless it goes through charity or something.
well, that's,
We don't see it come through this office, and
Right.
told them years ago to stop.
So,
So
is
somebody should
anybody
visit
over,
bingo
I was
one
gonna say,
time
has
just to
anybody
make
ever
sure.
visited?
You want me to get the...
Yeah, I mean, seriously.
They may have one of those 1-8-lighters.
Nice.
Hey, if y'all confiscated any of them, we can put them down there. For
Make them
storage
work.
only.
why would people go bingo, play bingo big and get something?
She has on that.
So
Why would they go if they don't get
where did we do the bingo? The city does the bingo?
Maybe they
Who
give
does
out
the
like,
bingo?
they give
Who's-
out.
okay, wait.
Still doing that, Paul?
I didn't think they
Who
were
does-
here.
Like,
who does the
I told
bingo?
them I wanted it up here every day.
Oh, yeah, they're coming up here 2 or 3 times a week to drop off their stuff now.
Oh, so who's in charge of the bingo? Who does the
I
bingo?
thought they dropped bingo.
Well, it's on
the
here.
calendar.
It's on the calendar.
Nobody knows what the bingo is?
Yeah, I mean, as far as just bingo, it's all on there.
No, okay, this is
So
what
we
I'm
need to-
saying, what
we
is
need to know
happening there?
more. We need to know more.
Yeah,
Okay.
because who's hosting that,
We're
and
opening
is there any
the
money being made, or what's
AC.
happening?
No, it's not money, it's just little gifts they give.
But who's buying the gifts?
City.
The city
No,
buys the gifts?
we're not doing that anymore.
Okay, they're
Well,
doing
that's what I
it
keep
now.
thinking.
That's
Okay, I don't understand.
I don't understand what they're, I don't know.
So we need to be tighter.
Understand
So,
what
yeah, because if
we
we're,
want.
No, no,
are-
no, what the bingo is.
Oh, okay. So I think what we want for starters might be, we want some sign-in sheets. I want records of how many people are attending these things. So if we spend, I don't know, $200 on the AC that night, keeping it cool, and then the janitor has to clean after that. So let's just say an event for us costs a couple $100, all right? Then I'd like to know that we at least have 50 people there, you know? So,
I can get a total number of people, but I mean.
I mean, is
no,
that
I
fair
know what
to
you're saying,
ask?
I know exactly what you're saying.
See,
We were just,
What?
it's
What?
like.
10 is probably more reasonable.
I think we had like 75 at Buddy Whittington, maybe 100, so that 50's asking quite a bit.
I just.
But we
got a
need,
random
we need
number.
details.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
we do.
details is what we need. Details is what we need.
We need data.
We need data, I like that word, we need data.
I'll get more data.
And same for
Someone make him a
exercise,
list
for
of what
this
the
one,
data, what the.
What the data needs to be.
Okay, so.
We got a calendar. Look, if we wouldn't, I pressed to get a calendar.
Again.
If we didn't
Here
get
it
a calendar, we
is.
wouldn't know anybody.
Yes.
So are we done with the general budget, because I feel like we haven't even talked about the water budget yet.
Well, we
Oh,
haven't, but I do wanna tell you because, I guess, because we had it in red, it looked like it was negative, it's not. 26,359 in the black.
No, I know, I just wanna understand it.
So, before we get off that though, I don't see any revenues budgeted for the community center. Am I looking on the wrong line, or are there not any?
There is, but
Where?
What, is it rolled up in a different number?
it's in the revenue,
I look for charges for services, isn't that where it'd be?
Is something called rental, community center donations,
It's on the
community
first
center
page.
rentals program. It's on the last page of the revenue.
Okay.
Yeah, we were doing so good there for a while, we need to,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
get on to the next
The
budget.
last page of the revenues. How much is there? Bingo.
So, hang on. Paula, what line item did you say, sorry?
It's in the middle.
17.
Okay, and it's called what?
Account number, 4092,
Okay, so
4093,
donation.
4096.
Okay, so there's your rental. So we adopted 12,000 for 2021, 22.
11.
Same for this year, and we brought in 8737 this year. Am I reading that correctly?
Yes.
And we're dropping it to 11,000 for next year for revenue?
yeah, well, that's how we calculated it. 'Cause the only thing we can do is take what we have so far, and I try to account for the other 3 months. In other words, we divide it by 9 months,
And-
multiply it times 12, that's just a close proximity.
Okay.
And this is, Paula, truly rentals, not like
Exactly.
percentage of.
No, it's,
Are we done with the budget?
we have to take a break.
Well, then I don't think we should continue talking without them here.
Or legal, but.
Everybody,
I don't want to repeat it.
take a break.
So,
So that's more than I thought, based on the.
just talking about your fees for service, your cost, you're talking about cost recovery is what you're talking about. It's a pretty common cost recovery goal among community centers in cities. 75% cost recovery is a good target goal. That's what our target is every year. If they don't hit that target, then they have to lower their expenditures to get compliant.
Good, that's good information, because we're at about 10%. A bit more, maybe, 90, what was it, 92,000, so we've got 11.
Mhm.
And
Thank you.
I don't know, Brandon, if that helps you in the direction you're trying to
No,
go.
it does, that's very helpful. We're at 12%.
You know, you gotta be able to offset your costs by X% of your budget, or you gotta drop your budget to get compliant with the percent.
And I think what she's proposing is just 50% at least to try to get them started.
Marvin, it sounds like if we can get some of the paperwork from some other rental deals, we need a workshop after one of the council meetings in September.
Okay.
No. I'll do it after the new fiscal year.
Huh?
Do it after the new fiscal year.
No, we need to be planning how we're gonna present this to them,
What you're saying in September?
wouldn't it?
No, that's not what we talked
Well,
about.
I'm talking about what we're gonna do for what we're gonna ask of the community center.
I know, that's what we talked about just now, and correct me if I'm wrong, Leanne, is that since we're in the black, we're essentially going to say, okay, we agree with this, but starting in the new fiscal year, is start working on that to start.
We need to start making the new plan. That needs to start as quick as
We
we
could
can.
start with then looking at this new year so that we don't have to necessarily approve this budget. We can say we approve this budget with the expectation of going from $11,000 of revenue to $25,000.
No, I know, but I'm saying that doesn't have to, because we have, how many meetings do we have in September?
2.
We only have 2.
Well, we have a special one, so it's 3.
Like this month.
Like this next deal, there's no sense of putting it on the next agenda item, because we got the budget stuff
Well,
again.
we need to do some homework before.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, if they can bring us.
So one
So
thing.
you're talking about not adopting the budget because.
No, I'm
No,
talking about
no.
adopting the budget, I'm just talking about what we're gonna try to do for the community center in the
And he's
future.
wanting to do it in September, and I'm saying do it after the new fiscal year.
But you're saying approve it as is?
As is.
Well, and it really, what we asked them to do, really the budget is kind of the byproduct. We're in the regulation part of it, right? So we could essentially approve
No,
their,
we can approve what we got now,
and then,
and then work on
and
what we
still
wanna make,
change.
what we wanna make
rules
better.
and-
So one thing Russell said that you may not have heard was Richland Hills, or generally, community centers are expected to cover 75% of their expenses.
75% cost recovery.
So, right now, we're at 12%. So, if that's a good goal, if that's, take
We
time to
can even
get there.
start at 50%.
Right, no, I just wanted to get that.
Okay,
I
interesting.
would be happy for the first year being 25 or 30%.
Yeah.
Continued increase.
Well, that'd be double. Mhm.
That'd be double what we're
Okay.
But to have something where people aren't always saying, y'all are too strict, y'all are this, y'all are that, it's kinda like,
Well,
Fix that.
this should be a brag point for our city, honestly, for the community.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, right now, until we can get improvements made, we're not gonna be drawing major.
And I know there was
in from the outside.
talks, and I don't know if he's presented it to y'all yet, but Darren wanted to go to EDC about taking some of the EDC money and repainting like